The seventh common mistake is not seeking out mentors and developing relationships with senior people in your ADR community. We all know that mentors are a source of information, but it's important to remember that they can also be a great source of referrals. If they're unavailable for a case due to timing constraints or conflicts, and if they think well of you, they could easily refer significant business your way. Developing strong relationships with senior mediators can also be valuable because there are prestigious mediation and arbitration organizations that require recommendations from members to gain entry. And membership in such organizations can be a significant advantage for increasing credibility and building one's practice. So there are really a lot of practical reasons why this is important. Some organizations will offer to match you with mentors, and of course that can be helpful, but it's also important to be proactive and seek people out for advice in other environments as well. So for some people, these things come very naturally. But for many, it can feel awkward to reach out to some person you don't know or don't know that well to ask for guidance. Like so many parts of business development, it takes courage. It requires putting yourself out there. Fortunately, mediators as a group tend to be really nice and helpful, but there are some things to remember if you are trying to develop relationships with mentors. The first is that having a mentor is still a two-way street. Just like any other form of networking, when you're trying to build these relationships, you look for ways that you can help them. Even if someone is extraordinarily impressive in their accomplishments, there's still things that they don't know. There's still communities they might want to get more connected to. Maybe you have some personal advice, maybe about a travel destination. So, although to start with, you're probably reaching out to people to ask for advice in some way, you should still be thinking about and looking for ways that you might be able to reciprocate somewhere down the line. The second thing to remember is that sometimes there's chemistry and sometimes there just isn't. So look for people who you genuinely like and connect with. The third thing is that you want to impress the person. So don't be shy about dropping into the conversation something that will get their attention. Maybe some experience or insight, right? Something that makes you stand out. I was on a panel a few years ago with a woman who developed a successful mediation practice straight out of law school, which you may have been told is impossible, but she is one of those exceptions that proves that it is not. One of the things she did to help get her mediation practice off the ground was to be very proactive in terms of finding mentors. She tells a story about how in her mediation training, she read a book by one of the leaders in the field, and she thought the book was fantastic. And she just really wanted to meet the author, who also happens to be a famous practitioner. And she got it into her head that she wanted this person to become her mentor. So she started looking for conferences where he was presenting so that she could go and meet him. But she couldn't find any. Finally, she discovered that he was speaking at a conference in Italy, so she went to that conference, even though she did not speak Italian. She found him in the opening reception, and they had a long conversation. He is now one of her mentors. He provides advice, and he sends her business. So courageous, bold action produces results when it comes to getting mentors, just like in every other area.